Welcome to Lavanya's computer classes. In this video, I will explain system calls in operating system. So what is a system call means? System call is an interface between a process and an operating system. It is provided by the system call. If you need any interface between process and an operating system, we require system calls. System calls are usually made when a process in the user mode requires any resources, then it requires the kernel, then kernel is providing these resources via a system call. For example, if we write the program like this, 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2, or in C language, we are using the statements like printf, scanf. So what is printf means? Printf is a print the information. Scanf means scanf is a function. It is used for reading the information. So whenever we are using this printf and scanf, these are using the API, application programming interface. That means that is used in the user mode. But whenever we need printf and scanfs, that means printf is related to write. What is a print means? Print means write the information. Scan means it is like read. So whenever we need these things, we need some resources like write means either we need monitor where we write, either it is the monitor, or we need to take the data, and the printer means printer is a device. So either we require printer or a monitor. So read means what we require, either we require input keyboard we require. So what is this mean? These are the devices. So these all the devices are controlled by the operating system, device management. So whenever we need any function like this is in the from user mode. User mode is requesting some resources that is controlled by the OS. Whenever we request any resources we need, then it send it to the kernel. Where it is there means these are all are there in the kernel mode. So any request is requesting from user mode to kernel mode. So OS is requesting, take the request and grant that permission through system calls. So that's why what is a system call means? System call is an interface between a process and an operating system. So whenever any process is in the user mode, requests any resources, then the request in the kernel mode is provided through system call. So that is the use of system calls. Here some diagrammatic representation of system calls. First we are working in the user mode. In the user mode, user process executing. That means any program is in the running state, that is called as process. If any process executing, then we need any resources, then it requires system calls. Then whenever it needs system call, immediately jumping into kernel mode. It executing the system call, and again, and that means it take the request from the user mode, it sanction, and it again give it to user mode. So get a process, user process executing, get system call, up to here user mode, then it is jumping into kernel mode. Here system call is executed and again jump into user mode. So this is the process of system calls. Now we go for types of system calls. All the types of system calls are categorized into 5. So what are those means? One is the process control system calls, file management system calls, device management system calls, information maintenance, and then communication. These all 5 are categories of system calls. So what is a process control? Process control means it deals with all the process. That means how to create a process, creation process, termination process, and I will explain then separately. Next one is file management. This is also one category of file management. In this, how to managing files, total responsible for files. What are the commands we require? All are available in the file management system calls. Then device management. The device management system calls is responsible for all the devices. How to take the request, how to grant the device, how to cancel the permission to the device. All these available in the device management. Next one is information maintenance. Information maintenance means this handles the information about the system, about the and also it how to transfer the information between the operating systems. These everything is available in the information maintenance. And last one is communication. Communication is very useful for inter-process communication. So how to deals with creating a communication or deleting a communication connections. So many system calls are there. All the system calls depends upon their functionality, depends upon their purpose. They are dividing into these categories. I will explain now one after another. Now I clearly explain about process control system calls. So what is a process means any program is in the execution is called as a process. So that means first we write the program. Whenever executing the program, then it is turned into process. Whenever we write in the process is also stored in the secondary RAM. So RAM is there, OS system, all are in the memory devices, and kernel mode is also here only. Okay. So any program is in the execution is called as a process. So whatever the system calls we need required for executing a process, those all are known as process control system calls. So in this, some examples I'll give the process control system calls. Whenever we need creating a process, first of all we write a program. Once we write the program is loaded into the memory. First we have to load it. So we need load system call. Once we load it into the memory, we have to allocating some memory. So how can you allocating the memory means for that we need one system call, that is like allocation of memory. So first we write the program in the user mode. Once we write the program is execution means it is loaded into the memory, that is called as process. So for that writing the load it into the memory we need load system call. Allocation of memory we need allocating memory. Once the memory is allocated, then start the execution. For execution we need one more system call, that is called as execute system call. So load is one example of system call, execute is one type of system call. Once execution is started, either it may be successfully completed or sometimes abnormal. So if it is successfully completed, the program is over, then just to end the process. End the process, for that we need end system call. If it is unsuccessfully completed, that means terminate the program middle only. For that we need one system call, that is called as abort. So abort system call. Okay. In this only the parent process requires create any child process. For that we need a create process. So what is a create process means any parent process wants to create child process. For that create process. Then if we want to change any attributes, now if we want to use any attributes related to process, then we use one system call, that is called as get process attributes. If we want to modify any process attributes, for that we need one system call, that is called as set process attributes. And all the processes are not executed. Some processes are executed only for some particular event. So any process is waiting for an event. So that for that we need one system call, that is called as wait event. Once the event is occurs, automatically the process is started. So that is called as signal event. Once the process is over, parent class or child process is over, that is called, we require one more system call, that is called as end process. So like this, so many functions are available, depends upon that process. So those are called as process control system call. Not necessary, but for all these things, just everything is only one line. What is this means? First we write a program. Whenever you write the program is first load it into memory. Load it into memory, then start your execution. So whenever the program is loaded into memory, we need load system call. Whenever we require memory, then we need allocate memory system call. Once we start execution, we need execute system call, load system call, execute system call. If it is successfully completed, end your process, that is end system call. If it is unsuccessful, terminate it, that is called as abort. If you want to use any attributes, use get process attributes. If you want to change any attributes, we require set process attributes. If the process is waiting for an event, we need wait event system call. It is ready to execute, that is called a signal event. If you want to create any child process, we use create process signal system call. if the work is over, then we close it. That is called as end process system calls. So these all are belongs to process control system calls. Now second system call is file management system calls. These file management system calls are responsible for all manipulation commands. So which commands we require for manipulating file, those all are available in this category. If we want to work with file, first we have to create a file. For that we need one system call, that is called as create file system call. Once the file is created, we have to open the file. For that we need open system call. Once the file is open, then it is used either read purpose or write purpose. For that we need read and write system calls. And then also if we want to use any attributes related to files, we need get file attributes. If we want to change that attributes, then we use set file attributes system calls. These get and set is available in all the 5 categories of system calls. That means if we want to change process control, get process attributes, set process attributes. And then your work is over, then you have to close the file because you are already opened the file, you have to close it. So how can you close means? For that we need one system call, that is called as close system call. Then once total work is over, no longer to need the file is in the memory, then we have to delete a file. So these all are the some system calls used in file management. Then third one is device management. What is the responsible for device? Device means hardware. These device management contains all the devices related commands. So that is how to read the data from the device, how to write into the device. For that we need some system calls. So if we want to use any hardware devices, first we send the request because you are in the user mode. We need hardware devices mean that is controlled by the OS. So we send a request device. Once the request is granted, then we can use the devices either for reading or for writing purpose. Similarly, if we want to use any device attributes, use get device attributes. If we want to change, then we use set device attributes. And logically attach or detaching devices, we need attach or detach devices system call. Once the work is over with these devices, then we have to release it. For that releasing, we need one system call, that is called as release device system calls. So these all are the system calls working in device management. And next fourth one is information maintenance. So what is this information maintenance means? It handles total information and how to transfer the information from one device to another device through OS. In this we can get the information about total information about system, that like get time or get date. How can you know the system's time and date means? For that one system call we require, that is get time and get date. And if you want to change the date and time, we need set time and date system call. Similarly, you want to take any attributes, system related data, get system data attributes. Similarly, set system data attributes. And similarly, we can take that any process files, get process, get file information. This everything is available in the information maintenance. And last one is communication. Communication means inter-process communication, one process to another process. Those are in the remote places also. So these communication system calls useful for inter-process communication. So for inter-process communication, first we have to create a communication. We have to build a communication between these resources. So for that we need create communication. Once communication is created between the systems, then we have to send the request or send the information, send the message. Sender is sending the message means receiver is receiving the message, that is called as receive messages. In between, we want to know the status of transferring messages. We need one system call, that is called as transfer status messages. And similarly, want to attach communication you have to create means either attach device or detach remotes. For that these system calls we need. Once the communication is over, once we transfer the information, then we want to delete the communication means we need one system call, that is called as delete communication system call. So these all are the different categories of system calls. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.